Hello, students. How are you all doing? We have started chapter number 5, that is separation of substances, from the course of your syllabus, and we are discussing the methods of separation. In our previous video, we have discussed the first three methods, that is winnowing, threshing, and handpicking. Now we're going to start with the fourth important method of separation of substances, that is sieving. As you can see, there is a strainer in the picture, and the object that they are taking, I mean the mixture they are taking for the process of sieving, is sand and gravel. So what is the role of strainer? The strainer is doing the separation of sand and gravel into two different segments, separating sand from the gravel portion. So, a sieve is a shallow vessel having small holes at its bottom, as you can see. An iron mesh can also be used as a sieve in some cases. And the method of separating a mixture by using this object called sieve or strainer is known as sieving. So, for the purpose of separating solid mixtures which have components of different sizes, sieving is used, right? Now, the mixtures having components of different sizes is put in sieve, and the sieve is moved back and forth continuously. What happens? The larger particles of the mixture cannot pass through the small holes, right? And they remain behind in the sieve, and the smaller gets separated and comes out of the mixture. The mixture gets separated into two components, one having smaller particles and the other having larger particles. The important thing to note is the size of the holes of a sieve to be used depends on the size of the particle and material to be separated from the mixture. If the material to be separated is of moderate size, you can have sieve of moderate to large size, and so on. Sieves of different sizes of holes are used for separating different substances, right? So this was the fourth method in separation of substances. Next up, we have the fifth important topic, that is evaporation. As you can see, evaporation is a surface phenomena. It occurs on the surface of a liquid when a substance in a liquid state is changing into gaseous state. Right. So, it is a type of vaporization, you can say, that occurs on the surface, and the state of water is changed. Right. There is a conversion of liquid into gas. The surrounding gas must not be saturated with the evaporating substance. And when the molecules of liquid collide, there is obvious energy transfer between the molecules, right? In the picture, you can see at the bottom, evaporation is an essential part of the water cycle also. See, the sun derives evaporation of water from oceans, lake, all right, and other sources of water. So, evaporation of water occurs when the surface of the liquid is exposed, means the surface of water is exposed here, allowing molecules to escape and form water vapor. As you can see in the picture, when sun is providing heat to the water body, the water surface gets hot, and the process of evaporation, means rising of water vapor, occurs. Next, we have another method of separation of substances, that is filtration. It is a very important method to be used in your laboratory. It is a physical, biological, or chemical operation that separates solid mixture and fluid from a mixture with a filter medium. Here, the filter medium is a filter paper that has a structure through which only fluid can pass. As you can see, we have a beaker containing mixture of solid and fluid. When you filter it through the beaker with the help of a filter paper, what would you see? That the fluid goes into the conical flask as the filtrate, whereas the solid mixture separates as residue and leaves behind in the filter paper only. Next up, we have the last technique, that is sedimentation and decantation. What is sedimentation? From the picture, you can see the particles are suspended in the liquid, are heavier than these particles in the mixture, you can say, are more attracted by gravity and therefore, in a certain period of time, precipitates on the bottom of a container. As you can see, on the day one, it is a random mixture of particles. On day two, sedimentation means the sediment, the heavier particles, are suspended and attracted by gravity and suspended towards the bottom. And on day three, you can see the complete sedimentation of particles. So it is used to separate particles based on their size, and the force which is responsible is centrifugal force, right? This is a very broad concept of centrifugal force. It is applied to a mixture which will separate the mixture according to its density, right? It also the role of sedimentation is also to determine the medical conditions of a person, right? The sedimentation rate of RBCs in your blood, red blood cells, is one such important example of sedimentation. And you all know about water treatment plants. They also use the method of sedimentation to filter out unwanted particles from the unclean water. Filtering through several layers of sand and soil allows particles to pass through, right? So, it was all about the techniques and methods of separation of substances. So, on the whole, we have studied the seven techniques of separation of mixtures, right? So, this ends up the techniques here only.